Okay, guys, so welcome back. It's been quite a while since I've made a video. The last video I made was roughly in November of 2025, where my portfolio sat at about $1,500. So we're about three times that from now. I still, I've been at it. I've still been investing frequently. There's been some months where, unfortunately, I haven't contributed as much as I had hoped to, but nonetheless, I'm still staying on it and still contributing. I'm very serious about this. I want to take this current balance of $4,200 from where it is now to a one-day six-figure portfolio. I know this is going to take a while, but I'm dedicated to do this. I always kind of fooled around with my money when I was younger, and being 30 years old now, I'm taking it, quite a bit more serious if I want to at some point slow down and retire. That is the whole point behind this TFSA is, so that I can one day take the foot off the gas, like everybody does when they get older and retire. But without further ado, I just want to give some further updates to the portfolio. This is the TFSA, as I've said. These are my current holdings over here. So not much has changed. Still investing in Enbridge, CNQ, VDY, and just very recently started to add WCP, which is Whitecap. It's a oil and natural gas company. I'm going pretty heavy into WCP. I see a lot of benefits to it. It's actually also still pretty low cost for what the company is, and I do see a lot of value in it where it could go higher. So I'm liking Whitecap right now. Eventually, when I do pull out of Whitecap, not pull out, but stop contributing to adding more shares of Whitecap, I will kind of dive back into ETFs. I find that to be most comfortable for me, and a lot less risk on the table. So this is where we currently sit with all of our shares. CNQ, I have about 10 shares. Enbridge about 23, VDY about 18, and then Whitecap I have about 20 shares. Showing you guys the month of June. On June 1st, I had a dividend payout from Enbridge for 22.84. That was automatically reinvested right back into Enbridge, so we got some more fractional shares, not quite a full share, but a fraction of a share. Then on June 4th, this is when we started to contribute to WCP. I contributed $150. Following that, 2 weeks later, I contributed another $200 on June 18th. Coming up to June 23rd, we have a announcement of an upcoming dividend payment coming out for CNQ, which should be pretty decent. Then lastly, we had a dividend payout from VDY of $3.34, which again was automatically reinvested back into VDY. What I'm currently struggling with is any investing and any contributions I do make from here on out. The market seems to be at almost an all-time high. Everything is right up there. This blue line represents the last all-time high for Enbridge from, I believe it was 2015. It was $66.20. So obviously we've surpassed that, which is great. But I hate to buy any sort of shares in this range because you don't know if it's going to flop, come back down to this blue line or less, or if it's going to skyrocket and continue to go higher. You just don't know these things. So looking at all my entire portfolio, the only kind of buy I do see is CNQ. We're kind of back over at this recent high over here. Aside from that, the most recent high was about $44, and I think that was back in 2019 or so. But again, this is still a decent buy for me. It's not at the top, so there's some wiggle room there. I think my average buy price is around $48 for this share, so I've done pretty well, and there's been a bit of a pullback, but that's expected. We're not investing for tomorrow, we're investing for 30, 40, 50 years from now. Even looking at WCP, I know I have a scheduled contribution to be made this upcoming Thursday, which would be, I think, July 2nd. So on July 2nd, I have a contribution of about $200 being put into this. I hope it can stay in this range, if not drop a little lower, closer to this kind of box here. But again, we were at about $17 very recently, and we're starting to have a bit of a pullback. This would be a great buy zone in this box, and then this would be the next great buy zone here. And then looking at VDY, again, we're at an all-time high. So as much as I still want to make contributions to VDY, It's a little bit nerve-wracking buying at the very top. Next to my watch list, we have TELUS. This is obviously a Canadian telephone company, telecommunication company rather, and it's on a very steep decline. They have a strong dividend of, I think it's about 8 to 9%, if I'm not mistaken. So a very strong dividend, but the company seems to be struggling as of right now. I still don't know if I'd consider this a buy quite yet, as it is on a very severe downtrend. So I don't want to buy here and then it continues to drop even further. No investor wants to do that, but again, I am looking for the upside where we could potentially maybe one day get back up to this $33 mark. It's hard to say. Lastly, with VFV, I have no exposure in the US markets quite yet. This is definitely the next move I have to make, and whether I'm at an all-time high or there's a severe pullback, it doesn't really matter to me. I have to get my feet wet at some point and get involved in the US markets. So this will be my next move. Once I kind of fill my position with WCP, I'll kind of spread out a little bit more between VFV as well as VDY. So again, looking back at the TFSA account we have on Wealthsimple, and if you haven't already, Wealthsimple is a great platform. If you're not using it, I highly recommend you do, especially if you're looking at getting involved in investing in just, financial education. They have a lot of great opportunities within Wealthsimple, a lot of promotions and things that you could really benefit from. But overall, it's just been super beginner friendly, very friendly face, and it's just a great platform overall. So if there's any interest in, starting up a brokerage account with them, by all means, I encourage you to do so. But I also encourage you to use the link in the description to do so. That way I get a $25 credit, as well as you get a $25 credit once you make a deposit into your account. Back on track here. This is our current valuation of our TFSA account. On the day, we're down about $35. But if you look at all time, if you look at our insights, we're actually up about $688, which is phenomenal. That's roughly about 19%. And that's exactly what we're hoping for. Of course, this could have gone the other way. Luckily, it didn't for us. But we want to keep on this trajectory by making our monthly contributions of about $400. So that's my current goal right now, just every 2 weeks deposit $200, and eventually scale that back up to where I think I should be. But for right now, that's where I'm comfortable. So again, I want to stay on um, this journey, and I want to document this the proper way. So if you find this kind of content helpful and these videos enjoyable, I would really appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe to follow me along on this journey, as well as engage in the comments down below. I love reading your comments, and I'll get back to each and every single one. So if you did enjoy the video, I'm going to log off here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.